Zoom.
Welcome to Zoom.
It's all theater. Been doing 50 Zoom interviews like for the past month for the new record. So yeah, it's kind of the new thing. And there's different ones too, but Zoom is usually the most popular one.
Yeah, and you guys are starting your new tour. Right?
Yes. Yeah, these are a couple warm-up shows, and then we have 11 shows in Europe in May.
Wow.
So, and this is the only stop in Michigan, and you got one tonight.
Yep, we're in Pittsburgh tonight. And then, we'll be in Michigan Friday night. Pretty psyched to play a hometown show. It's kind of our record release party because we, our record, we didn't originally book it that way, but then they delayed our release. When they did, they moved it to April 12th, which just so happened to be, the day we were going to be, in Saginaw. And actually, since then, the record label's delayed it to May 10th, but maybe unbeknownst to them, they sent us a box of CDs. So it's our CD release party. We're selling CDs and we're going for it. We don't care.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
we
one
got a
thing.
whole merch section.
You can get the CDs and you can get the albums. We are selling them at the shows and some new merchandise. So it'll be really cool.
Well, we're going to make sure that we funnel everybody into the merch store and get their hands on it first.
Yeah.
So that would be great. Hey, music lovers, welcome to Tune Talk. We are here with Todd Michael Hall and Donnie Van Stavern. How are you guys today?
Doing good. Donnie Van Stavern's doing great. Todd Hall's doing great. We rehearsed last night. We're in Pittsburgh. We're preparing for a European tour in May in a few weeks. So we decided to do a couple warm-ups. And, Todd's hometown is Saginaw. Our agent lives there. So they decided to put something together along with a CD release. And then we went ahead and threw in a second date, which was Pittsburgh's that we're playing tonight. So, it was basically a CD release party, April 12th. It did get bumped back again to May 10th, but we're moving forward. So we do have vinyl, CDs, and brand new shirts. So come on out and represent.
Yeah, definitely. Special shout out to Bill Peters too for wanting to bring us to Saginaw and being so nice about it and everything. He's definitely always willing to support us, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Todd, it's not your first time here, right?
Yeah, not my first rodeo.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly excited to have you guys. It's $20 to get in, this is a great experience to see Riot if they haven't seen you guys before. So doors open at 7, show starts at 8. We'll make sure we funnel everybody into the merch store for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're doing $20 tickets, which is great, and free meet and greets. Just come by and say hi and grab something and do a shot of tequila with us. Awesome. We owe you. You guys been coming to our show and buying our stuff like that. So I'm not going to charge you to shake my hand.
Yeah, that's pretty popular nowadays. So I have it's weird for me to try to do that. So especially I'm from Saginaw, so it's like I was just at the Jeff Tate show last week. So I was politicking. Hey, come to our show.
So you guys are coming up on 50 years anniversary, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. The seal with the X-Withing seal that we noticed, we know we look back on a lot of the albums. Is that the band mascot? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it was created, back in 75, when the first record came out, Rock City in 77. It was actually the producer Steve Loeb's brother-in-law. He was like an avant-garde artist. And so he was coming up with ideas. And back then, the big seal clubbing thing. I don't know if you remember about that in the news, clubbing seals. So basically, it was a portrait of them getting back. That's why the seal's holding an axe and there's a body laying on the ground. Well, it kind of was funny, but then it stayed. It was one of them things where it was weird, but it kind of worked a little bit. So the next one they did, the sumo wrestler seal and Narita, and then they kept it going. And so, we're not like Eddie the Head from Iron Maiden, or Rivethead. We have a cute little baby harp seal, but it stuck with the band, and it came from the early days, and we've been using it forever. There was been a period where we didn't use them, and then when we decided to move forward with the band after the untimely passing of Mark Reale, we said, let's bring him back. And we tried to make him a little more, vicious for us and the sound and the whole group. So he's been with the band, so he'll be celebrating the 50 years too, and next year in 2025, and we have some cool stuff planned for that. So awesome. We're the band with the worst album covers, but the best music. That's what Eddie Trunk.
Yeah. Speaking of Mark Reale, I heard a little story. I mean, you two go way back,
right? So I met Mark as a fan back when when Rock City came out. I had it. I lived in Texas, and there was a big radio station there with a DJ, Joe Anthony, and he played all sorts of rock and stuff. It's different now, but Riot was one of the mainstays on there, so I loved it. I had the record since, and on Fire Down Under, the third record, we had a mutual friend, Ricky, who was, back then they had these people that were street team members that would go to the radio, hand out postcards, promote the band. So he was a friend of mine, and then one day he came to me because I was in the band Slayer, the Texas Slayer back in the day, and he said, "Hey, Mark Reale from Riot wants to keep his chops up when he's not on tour, so he's coming from New York to Texas. Can he jam with Slayer?" And we went into the garage and we played, a bunch of classic rock and Riot songs. He even joined us on stage a few times doing some classics, and then from there, the relationship started. So I was actually friends with Mark, 10 years before I even joined the band, and I lived with him in Brooklyn. He lived with me in Texas. So we had that relationship going, and then we made a solo band called Narita, and then I helped him write songs on Born in America, Riot's fifth record, before eventually getting the magical phone call to join the band in 84, 85-ish. And so that's when it really became, I was a member of the original lineup, so to speak, with Sandy and Rick and Rhett Forrester. And then in 1988, of course, we changed gears and started doing a little bit more heavy music, power metal. But me and Mark have been, friends forever. He lived with me in Texas when he passed away. And it was just, it was a great relationship, besides being on stage musically. We were the best of friends and did a lot of fun things together. So we continue on, in his honor and in the legacy of the Riot.
Amazing.
So tell us a little bit about this new album. I mean, I know that there's a lot of new stuff. It's definitely got it's a heavy sound. And Todd, I was talking to him earlier, and his voice compared to back in the day, listening to the old Thundersteel and the new Thundersteel, I mean, he just fits in perfectly. But what is your writing dynamics like? Who you guys all write together, or is it you got one?
Yeah, we and continuing on after the passing of Mark, when we did the fifth chapter, I wanted to continue on in my vein of music, because Riot has a lot of member changes and musical styling. So basically I said, well, since I was an original member from Thundersteel, let's keep it in that vein. So, we were continuing on, and then a few members couldn't do it. Bobby Jerzombek was playing with Fates Warning, Sebastian Bach, Robert Halford. Now he's playing with George Strait. And Tony Moore fell out. So, when we started to put it back together and Mike came aboard, I felt like we needed a singer that kind of covers that era of, the higher vocalists like Tony, and someone who could cover, all eras. And believe it or not, I found Todd in Germany. It was weird. We looked around. A mutual friend of ours, Bart Gabriel, who currently books the band, he's in Germany. He says, "Hey, I have a friend, and he lives in the States. He lives in Michigan. His name's Todd Michael Hall." And we looked at videos, and we liked the way, he sounded, and he looked great, so we sent him some music, and his voice got on there. And the next move was sending it to the record labels. and say, okay, we're continuing. What do you think? And when they heard it, they were floored. They said, oh yeah, let's move forward. This is great. They love Todd, and he is definitely an asset to the band. His voice is magical. It fits the music, and his ideas are great. And the new record, is representation, because it's a little bit more variety on this one than the first two we did in the fifth chapter. We got some, rockers, and besides the power metal, and Mike's got his style of, Renaissance guitar kind of music. And I think we came up with a good one with a lot of variety. And Todd definitely makes the songs come alive, and he's got great ideas. So Todd, it's your turn.
Yeah, you're making me blush, Donnie. Geez. Actually, the funny part is, I would, obviously anybody from Saginaw, well, maybe they know I was in Harlot way back in the day. I mean, we were doing stuff in the 80s and all that. And I kind of got out of it in 96. My brother John at the time wanted to do more of a Pantera style of music. And so I kind of got out of it. And then I got back into it around 2004 when I got into a band called Burning Star. And Bart Gabriel produced the second album that I released with Burning Star. And then I went to Germany to play a festival with Burning Star. And I met Bart there. And actually, Bart's from Poland, but he does a lot of work in Germany. And after I had met him in person, it was like a month or so after I played that festival, he said, hey, did you know Riot's looking for a singer? And I'm like, really? And I was familiar with Riot because my brother John, was 4 years older than me. When I was like 12 or 13, he had a cover tune band, and they used to cover Swords and Tequila, which is one of the famous songs from Riot that's actually still played on Ozzy's Boneyard. It's that's off the Fire Down Under album. And so I remember Riot. I remember my brother John playing the Thundersteel album when it came out. Like, he literally had it on vinyl, and I remember him spinning it, in the basement. And he had a bedroom in the basement, and the practice room was on the other side of the basement. And I remember listening to it just thinking, oh my God, like, this stuff is insane. And so I was familiar with Riot, and ended up hooking up with Donnie as far as, doing a couple cover tunes. And, the funny thing is we started by, I put vocals on 3 songs that were off, they had a reunion album called Immortal Soul, which is a great album where they had the Thundersteel lineup reunite. And that was released in 2012. And so I put vocals on 3 of those songs. And the funny part is, and not like I'm necessarily trying to copy Tony, but we do have similar sounding voices, not exactly the same, but when Donnie shared one of those songs with people, and they were like, yeah, so, like, they didn't even realize it was a different singer.
I thought it was Tony Moore. And
I said,
I did that on purpose because I posted it, and people were like, yeah, we love this song. And I'm like, hello, and then all of a sudden a few people started going, what? And then it was Todd. So then we knew it's a perfect fit.
Right? Yeah.
So. Yeah, you fit in so good. Can the listeners or the audience at your show, will they be able to experience any of the previous albums, any of the songs?
Yeah, we definitely, like Donnie said, we made a specific effort on this song because the reality is Riot does have a really long history. I mean, next year's our 50th year. I've been in the band for like 10 years now, so it's amazing how fast time flies. But there's a history of, ever since Riot came out, if you go back and listen to Rock City from '77, it's kind of amazing because you think, wow, it's pretty heavy, fast rock. Like Mark Reale, Donnie always explained to and so did Mike, that he just loved to play fast. And so they have some really cool songs. It's like what I would almost call a precursor to heavy metal. Like, a lot of people consider them part of the new wave of British heavy metal, they call it, even though they were from the US. Mm-hmm. But so we kind of span that. We play some of those older rock stuff, and then we play the power metal stuff, and we blend a lot of that in. And in our set, there's not a ton of songs. I think that's what I was explaining earlier, is that, if you look at our set list last night we were rehearsing, and for the fun of it, I looked at it, and I think there's like 22 songs on our set list because we have a couple bonus just in case we do an encore. And 4 of the songs were written by people that aren't currently in the band. But every one of like 18 of the other songs that we play were either written by someone in the band or were written when that someone from the current band was in the band.
Right.
And so we, that's the funny part is some people will say, oh, well, Mark Reale died. There's no one original in the band. But the reality is the ties of Mike are, Donnie goes back basically almost 40 years and Mike goes back 35 years. So there's just a long history. And so, yeah, we do try to play songs throughout the history. So you'll get this kind of the hard rock to what I would call the power metal. But the nice thing about Riot, the thing I love about Riot is it's very melodic music, no matter whether it's fast or whatever it is. Melody has always been a key. And that's really important for me as a singer. Like I'm not that I have a problem with Cookie Monster vocals. I'm just totally incapable of singing that way.
Yeah.
And I don't find it as melodic. Let's face it, when I was a really influential youngster, it was the late 70s and the early 80s. And the stuff that was hits was Boston and REO Speedwagon and Styx and all that. And then getting into heavy metal with Queensryche and Dio and Iron Maiden. But that was really, it was a lot of times it felt like it was pop music, but just real heavy pop music,
right.
Very melodic. And, so I think that's what you can expect from us, just kind of cool melodic music that, might be real heavy and fast, but still got a lot of melody in it.
Well, we like heavy and fast.
No, I completely understand. I mean, I'm a vocalist myself, and a lot of the newer age rock with the, like you say, cookie cutter vocals. I appreciate the melodic, and that's how I like to represent myself too.
Oh, cool.
With Riot's always been like that, where and Mark had that, mentality. It's like really fast, upbeat music, but you got to have that melody, and that's what he always does. I mean, he always, used to tell us, there's songs within a song, like the vocals have to be a song within the song, guitar solos have to be a song within the song. So they're very, we'll have stuff like, Flight of the Warrior, which like, then shining into, they always do something that's very catchy and melodic. And, he used to say the longevity of the band is through good music. And that's why I think Riot continues to live on 50 years, because he always had that style, fast, aggressive music, but it was very melodic, and we like that, we write like that. Todd's voice is perfect. The music is, and the new record, you can hear it, very aggressive music, and Todd's vocals on their harmonies and the guitar solos are all great. So it's hard. I mean, if we play like one or two songs from each record, we'd be there for 4 hours. And I know you guys would love it, but we're old now. I just turned 60. I didn't look it. But anyway, so it's hard to pick and choose, like Todd said. So, we 85% of the set list is, the fifth chapter moving forward. And I was part of the Thunderstill, which was another big record. So we favor that a little bit. And, then we'll do a few songs from Rock City, the first record, and, a couple from Narita. And it's for the fans, it's, we can't just, move forward, with that. You got to please the thing. So we have a good variety of, every record that we'll be playing tonight and tomorrow. So we're going to play 3 new ones, which haven't been released yet. So
awesome.
There's going to have a lot of good music, for the fans and stuff. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you guys.
I was going to say we play at least one song from kind of every era. Like there's 5. The reason we're technically known as Riot 5 is because I'm the 5th kind of official singer that's recorded albums with them, and so we play at least one song from every era. But yeah, like Donnie was saying, that the notion of melody just rides throughout. Like it's funny because to me, it's funny as a vocalist too when I'm singing along, because like one of our absolute heaviest songs, which is not in the set list actually tonight, but is a song called Black Leather and Glittering Steel, and it's just this poundingly heavy song. but it's just got this pummeling beginning, and then all of a sudden the vocals kick in. It's like, we drank till the sunrise, roll away singing, Johnny's back again. It's like just got this really melodic vocal line to it. And so
thrashing music and melodic.
As a vocalist, it's just so incredibly pleasant to sing Riot music because the melodies are all just so glorious,
Mm-hmm.
So
don't blow your voice out. You got to sing tonight.
Right.
Yeah. Well, one of the other funny things, and we see it a little bit in the U.S., but definitely in Europe, because in Europe, what I would call 80s power metal, like in the U.S., there's a little bit of this cachet. Oh, that's old, and old people listen. Even though there's younger people, like if you look at younger guitar players, they're all playing old heavy metal because that's when there were all these guitar virtuosos, But when we're over in Europe and Greece and some of these places, they literally sing the guitar parts, so you've got these rhythms where it's the whoa, whoa, because the guitar's going da 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 da, so the crowd is just going whoa, so it's
like a soccer chant. They do the soccer chants during the music, and then the vocals forget about it. It's weird.
Yeah, that's a good way to summarize that. The soccer stadium.
Yeah.
Well, and it goes along with what Donnie was saying about Mark, how basically that you want kind of songs within the song, so you don't want to just hook people with the vocal melody. You want to back it up and hook them with a guitar melody. And so what's interesting is a lot of times the guitar melodies are, like they'll do solos where they basically mimic the vocal melody, but that's not what Mark would do. He would come up with a totally different melody that was really cool and would hook you too, but it wasn't the same as the guitar, the vocal melody. And so it's almost like the solo was a song within a song, so to speak. That was the terminology.
Absolutely. A lot of dual leads and stuff like that. It makes it a good full song with all that. And we try to continue writing like that.
Absolutely. Sounds like it's going to be an amazing show. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes. And you guys have a new video release too, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
I was going to say, we just released, because for our new album, they released a lyric video for a song called High Noon. Then we released a live action video for a song called Feel the Fire. And it got over 500,000 views. So pretty psyched about that. People really
nice.
liked it. It's like a heavy song, but it's more like a slower kind of grinding heavy. And then we just released our new song, which is Love Beyond the Grave, which is like this, I don't know how to describe it other than it's just like a heavy old school rocker with like this really gang style sing along chorus. And so we're really psyched and we're going to be playing that one live. This weekend's the first time we're ever playing it live, so we're doing that one. So we got 3 songs off the new album that we'll be playing live. So
awesome.
Yeah, and we'll have another video coming out with the release of the record on May 10th. The title track, Mean Streets. It's a video for Mean Streets, and they were shot by, a few of them were shot by Tom Flynn, who is a big producer. He did some excerpts from the movie Saw. He does Lamb of God, Buck Cherry, a bunch of bands, and it's Mean Streets. And our Johnny character, our little white fuzzy seal, he makes an appearance in it with us, and he's at a bar drinking tequila with us. So stay tuned.
So we need to practice shot drinking today. Tequila.
Yeah, that's the one thing we did on the new album. We toughened up what's the artist's name? There's an artist from where's he from, Donnie?
He's from those regions of Poland, and his name's Gyula Havensack, and
he's from Hungary.
Yeah, it's a hard name, but he's done a lot of known albums too, album covers for even Judas Priest, Meshuggah, and bands like that. And when we gave him the concept, we always have to have the seal, and we try to keep it, when he first sent it, we said, well, we were going to call it Hell to the Warriors. And then we thought it might be a little too man-o-war-y, it's like, let's do something like Mean Streets. It's more like a Riot thing. I wrote it about the streets of New York City and the upbringings of Riot and stuff. So when you give the ideas to the artist, he came back and he put the seal on a motorcycle. And at first it was kind of cheesy. I said, that's kind of cool, but he'll put one. I said, no, you got to put 5. Because it's always like 5, seals representing 5 members of the band. So the cover, you'll see, 5 seals riding it, a guy with a sword, a guy with a tequila, and we have a female seal on the back. The female seal, his girlfriend makes an appearance, and then, when you open it, then it's got us on the motorcycles too. So that was his concept, and we ran with it. We said, okay, that's a good idea. It fits the lyrics and the whole concept of Mean Streets, and the seal's in there, and and they put us all on motorcycles. I think the only guy that really rides a motorcycle is Todd. He's got like 5 Harleys.
Well, the funny thing is on the inside, then he had a shot of the seal, and it's so funny because like the traditional image of a seal pup, they have the kind of round eyes, almost like the anime, and because basically infants throughout mammals, they have the big eyes and the head, and it makes you want to be gentle with them, And so a seal pup is not necessarily very tough looking, but the artist took the eyes and kind of angled them just so slightly. And so inside the album cover, we have this new kind of updated image of the seal pup, and he's like kind of pretty menacing looking. So I made a new T-shirt for us that has that menacing seal pup in there. And so yeah,
and
so
one of the amp banners too. How we have the amp banners on the sides of the stage. We had new ones made, and one is what Todd's talking about, the menacing looking face.
Oh.
Kind of, looks cool.
Yeah, we had to toughen up our seal a little bit. Yeah, but I did that Donnie mentioned, but we have the debut of the female seal who's on the back. Actually, the funny thing is when Donnie first showed me the artwork, I'm like, it looks a little bit more like a cat or a fox because he had a bunch of makeup on. Like, you got to make it look a little more like a seal. So we had to revise the artwork just a little bit, you know?
Yeah. It looked like a rabbit.
We were going interspecies.
A female seal.
We were going interspecies on our whatever, our girlfriend there for a minute, you know?
So Johnny does have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Is she going along a tour with you guys?
No.
She's our merch girl. She's going to sell merchandise.
Nobody. The realities of touring is a little more. Most people think it sounds glamorous, but it's really not. You know, we do it, out of passion because we love to play live and get a chance to meet the fans. But man, the traveling in between and all that, it's kind of horrible. It really is, especially when. Like sometimes it seems like most times we're like, especially when we go to Europe, we're flying between shows. Although this coming tour, we're driving. But when you start flying between shows, I don't know if you've ever gone to an airport, but imagine having to wake up at the crack of dawn every day to get on a shuttle bus, get to an airport, go through security, do all that crap day in, day out to do like 10 shows. It's tiring, you don't get any sleep. And not that I'm saying it's a woe is me tale, but that explains why the women don't come along because
they'll come along to the cool stuff. But yeah, Todd's right. I mean, if you're Metallica, of course, or the Stones, you got people wiping your booty, but
private jets.
Right.
You have your own tour bus and, you have someone giving you a massage every day, with this kind of band, Riot's always been a mid-level band, so we basically, we do it for the passion and for the fans. And it's different here in the States. Music is changing, everything's going up. People, it's hard to, fill a house if you're a mid-sized band, that's why we do Weekend Warrior stuff like we do, because midweek stuff is questionable. But Europe, when we go over there, that's why you see us over there a lot. They still kind of have that vibe, and we'll play on a Monday somewhere and it'll be packed. But it's just kind of a different deal. But like Todd said, we're definitely not, Metallica or, these big bands are trying, even Megadeth, they're on the up level. So, Riot, it's just been together, and it's just once you get it in your veins, you continue on, and we have regular gigs, but we definitely do it for the fans, and for the passion of the music. And then we have our family lives with us too, but we get out as much as we can, I'm still here.
Do it while you can.
I mean, you're following your passion, you're doing what you love, for a living. And that's amazing in itself. And, I really admire that.
And we're the best of friends, which makes it, cool. We're like brothers, traveling. It makes it really cool. We'll have, disagreements, or we'll come in, and talk about a song and this and that, but it's like brothers,
Right.
But, in the end, we love one another. And, that's why this lineup, believe it or not, this is a record for Riot. This is the 3 albums with the same lineup, which has never been done, but we do have fill-ins for some live stuff because, like I said, sometimes the personal life and family, obviously
Right.
Nick, our young guitar player, still battling the encephalitis, poor guy, but he's going through treatments, and we'll have him back as soon as they can figure things out. So we have Jonathan Reinheimer, who's been with us for a few years, and he's doing a great job. And, we do that. We work together, and we stay as a unit, and we'll do fill-ins, but it's still we'll have another record next year or the year after with the same lineup, hopefully. So it's a record.
Well, we really do look forward to it, and we really look forward to seeing you guys live at the Vault. I know that there's been a lot of buzz around town. I mean, anytime Todd Michael comes to a show and people know about it, it's usually kind of a big deal, you know.
Saginaw's own boy, huh?
Yeah.
My friend Ed. See, to me, I'm very down to earth. Like I don't know that stuff does not like. I was joking with the guys yesterday because I was reading some reviews of our album, and there was a couple talking about how great I was, and then there was a couple like, "Oh my God, that high pitched voice, it's terrible, and he sounds like a heavy metal robot, and whatever's too perfect about." I mean, I was telling them there's always the somebody to bring you back down, so it doesn't pay to get on your high horse. But my one buddy Ed, who came with me to the thing, he's like, "Dude, I don't know, you're on The Voice, so now it's like everybody in town knows you." I'm like, nah. And he's like, "Yep, every time we walk in the vault," he's like, "you're only in there like for 30 seconds and someone walks up and says hello to you." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, but I'm born and raised in Saginaw. I've been in the town for 54 years, so it's like a lot of people,
Right.
I lost my heart in Saginaw, Michigan.
Yeah.
Found by Michael Hall in Saginaw, Michigan. Even the guy at the hotel last night when we came in after rehearsal, he knew of The Voice. We were chatting about it a little bit, so pretty cool.
Very
It's
popular
funny
show.
that you just saying that because I literally just posted last week a video from the Keith Urban show, and he did that. Yeah, I videoed that live. Yeah, that song. He did it.
We should have done it. I should have. That's a good thing. I should have told Todd. We should have did a metal version of it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's something to work on though, because I really think that that would
next time.
Yes, let's plan that out. That'd be great.
Thanks for the idea, Todd. Get on it.
Yeah,
it's a team effort. Well, we really do appreciate you guys doing this interview with us and all of our listeners. We'll make sure that we maybe post a few links in the comments below for the new videos. So today and tomorrow people can get jamming so they know all the lyrics by heart. They'll be right up on stage singing right along with you.
Nice. Well, thank you, Jen and Stephen. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do the interview. Definitely looking forward to. I'm not exactly looking forward to the 6-hour drive tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to the show.
Absolutely.
That's the other thing. We're not on the bus on this run, so 6 hours. But we played some of our best shows. Remember when we did Rock Hard? We had no sleep. We went straight. It was a 6 a.m. call. We always tell this story. We went straight to the venue, got dressed, got on stage, and played our best show ever. So it's in the blood. So we're looking forward tomorrow, man. It's going to rock. It's great to be back after, we've done some sparse things here and there, but it's, we're looking forward to these shows and then the European tour and stuff like that. So we thank you for the support and chatting with us and stuff. And we'll see you, on Friday.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys and safe travels back to Michigan tomorrow.
Take care.
All right. Sign on.
And make sure you go to eventbrite.com to get your tickets. You will get the access to get into the vault early. Also can get your tickets at Maple Gardens, Grand Central, and the Junction in Saginaw. Thank you all for tuning in and keep the music playing.